I gotta turn my phone.
Hello guys, so got myself a coffee, got myself some pre-workout. So we got 2 rice cakes with some peanut butter on the top and 2 mini bananas. I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna chill here, and then we're gonna go and work out. You know, today we're doing shoulders and arms, my most favorite day, you feel me? But yeah. Now, one thing I wanna say is I kinda want to make this YouTube channel more of a, I don't know if you can hear the helicopters. So I want to make this channel more of like a raw type of channel, you know, just make it more open and stuff. As you see in the intro, you know, I'm kind of focusing on, I'm trying to learn how to basically like create my personal brand, you know. So I'm kind of learning how to make some shorts, some reels. I just want to make this YouTube channel to just connect with you, you know, to be open, to be raw, you know, not to really filter myself and to really optimize it for growth and all that stuff. Like, sure, I will still try to make my best thumbnails, make my best titles and stuff like that, but for growth, I will mainly use Instagram Reels, Instagram itself, and just YouTube Shorts. But yeah, I want to keep long form videos, just, you know, just where I can express myself, and again, just to build a connection with you, you know, like friends. And actually the past few days, like, this is where I spend most of my time. You know, I just sit down here and just chill. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been paying off, you know. I'm doing like a solitude season, so I just basically want to be alone, because that was the biggest, I'd say, struggle with me, for me, you know. I could never be alone. Like, I always got to be around people, or otherwise I just feel like something is off, you know. So I'm doing a solitude season. I kind of like got to reconnect with my like inner self, you know, because I suppressed it so much trying to fit in with people that I just lost myself, you know. And honestly, I was thinking, like, why did this happen, bro? You know, like, why? But at the same time, I'm very thankful that God gave me this challenge, because now I got so much wisdom out of this. You know, I got so many lessons, and I feel like easy life is not a good life. You know, sometimes you gotta have struggles, and I think like getting over those struggles gives you a better character. It builds your confidence. You know, because if you would put 2 men right here, one that I had like a very easy life, no challenges, no nothing, and the other person would be here who really went through a lot of stuff. He went all over the world. He had struggles, you know. I'm not trying to romanticize struggling. You know, I think it's, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it in words right now. You know, I'm kind of like, I may be contradicting myself, but I think you gotta have some sort of struggles in your life. But I'm not saying if you are living a beautiful life that you gotta put yourself into some kind of like position where you gotta struggle mentally. No. But I'm just saying, if you are struggling, bro, don't think it's like it's like the end of the world, you know? Like there's always light at the end of the hole. You know, you just gotta stay patient. You gotta give yourself time, and you're gonna get out of this. I think the biggest lesson that I got from this season of my life is don't try to put yourself in a box. You know, you gotta be okay with not fitting in. If you, let's say, if you are very focused on growing yourself, if you are very focused on improving yourself, it's normal for you not to fit into the club vibe or stuff like this. You know, you don't gotta, there's nothing wrong with you, and you don't got to force yourself to go clubbing and stuff like this. You know, because that's how I was trying to indulge myself into the Spartan culture because it's what young people do. You know, it's what the cool kids do. But now that I've been sitting here for the past few days, like hours, you know, all I got is like this book, Lonesome Dove. I don't know if you know this book. Yo, camera focus. Yeah, this book, Lonesome Dove. And I just got my journal with me, you know, so that is all I do. I just sit here, I read this book. If I got something on my mind, I journal about it. I just meditate in nature. And it's what I truly needed. What I truly needed is just to kind of get away from people. And I used to be very against this. I used to be really against going ghost mode and whatever names it got, isolation season, solitude season. I was really against these things because I used to think like, bro, you gotta be social. You know, like we are as people gotta be social. But sometimes it's really the best thing you can do. And another thing I realize is socializing doesn't equal to socializing. You know, if you wanna be more social and you go out here and just betray your values and what you believe, you indulge yourself into things that you don't even like, that is not socializing. That is you just trying to get approval of others and you rejecting yourself, honestly. And you know, one thing about me is what I really have pushed away is like I'm a person who really likes to think deeply. You know, I really like to analyze things. Like I'm very interested in psychology. I'm really interested in like social skills, like learning about communication and all that stuff, in philosophy. And you know, it's like it's a different kind of thing. You know, so to fit in with those guys, and again, I know some of them may be watching this video. You know, I don't have nothing against them. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just a natural part of life. Like people just grow apart and that is it, you know. But I really suppressed a lot of things about myself just to fit in. And all these things actually just came from my beliefs. I don't know if you heard this thing, but there's a saying that beliefs shape your world. And I fully agree with it now because certain beliefs made me act like this, you know. For example, I used to believe, like I really used to want to be charismatic because one of my insecurities used to be my social anxiety. And you know, when you are socially anxious, you cannot really like express yourself. So that was one of my insecurities. And I really want to compensate for it. So I wanted to be very, very charismatic. And I used to think that being charismatic means you fitting into every single room. I used to think like every single person you meet, if you're a charismatic person, you will be able to connect with them. But that is not the goal, bro. Being charismatic doesn't mean losing judgment. You know, a lot of people are against judging people, and I'm not saying you should judge people, but you should have a judgment on people. You should know if they're good for you, you know, because maybe I'm still a young guy and maybe I just take certain advices in the wrong way. For example, I used to think that stop judging people means to always just think good things about them, stop thinking about bad things of them. But that is not how the world works. You got to be realistic and you got to see people as they are. You know, you got to see if people really fit you. That is not you judging them, that is just having a judgment on them. I think judging people means you see something bad in them and you just think, oh, he's a loser, he's that, you know, and you don't even think about why he acts like this. I think that is being judgmental towards someone. But having a judgment of people is nothing wrong. If you don't like somebody, don't try to force yourself into liking them. Then just trust your intuition. You know, that's what I learned. Because when you just try to get rid of your intuition, you may get into the same place as I was, where I just try to really fit in with every single one, no matter who it is. Like, imagine how exhausting it is to trying to fit in with every single person you meet, trying to perform for every single person, because that was what my worth was to attach to. You know, my worth was attached to being charismatic. And now that I've been kind of just silent from not everyone, but from most of the people I used to see every single day, I'm just sitting here for like the past 3-4 days. I kind of started hearing my voice again, and that is what I really needed. I just want to spend the season, this summer, building a connection with myself, focusing on my personal brand, helping out people, creating a community, and yeah, just working on myself for real, you know. And it's just like I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, how didn't I think of this before, of the solitude season? I mean, it was hard because you still see those people in school every single day. It's really hard to do that, but that's what I needed the most. Because even when I used to be by myself in private, I used to be anxious. Imagine. Because I just didn't know myself. I didn't know who I was. Absolutely, like, didn't know who I was. But now for the past few days, I'm starting to hear my voice again. I feel more like myself right now, and I'm happy. And I always like heard this advice to not try to fit in, don't change yourself for other people. But I guess I didn't truly know what it meant, and maybe just God decided to give me an actual experience, and now I just know the importance of actually knowing your values and staying true to them. Because it goes way deeper than just betraying yourself for once, or just not doing something in aligning with yourself once. I mean, it sounds very simple. Oh, let's say you don't smoke, but I'm gonna smoke once because of others. It sounds simple. It's only one time, right? But it's gonna affect you still, because the next time you may think, oh, I did it previous time, let me do it again. And then you fall into this loop and you try to just suppress parts of yourself, because now you want to fit in more and more and more, and over time you will just start to lose yourself. So what I could say to my younger self, and what I could say to you if you are going through something similar, it's if you truly feel like you need to change your personality in order to fit into some kind of room, don't do it, bro. There's so many people out here on this earth. You will find your own people. And trust me, there is nothing wrong with you. Because I used to think that maybe something was wrong with me. I mean, why can I not fit in? Everybody seems so natural, so they seem to be enjoying. Like, I used to go to parties and I didn't enjoy a single party. Imagine. I didn't want to go to parties. But I was thinking, bro, like, what is wrong with me? Like, go to a party. But this whole time, I just wasn't listening to my body. I wasn't listening to what I was actually saying. I just didn't want to go there. I just didn't like the environment. I just didn't enjoy it. I don't find a joy in partying. I know society puts a lot of pressure on you on what you are supposed to be, both women and men. I cannot really talk for women, because I'm not into that stuff of like what women are supposed to be. But I can speak for men that, you know, we do have a lot of society pressures to be like this and that and that. Oh, a man's supposed to be like this, a man's supposed to be like that. And I just want to get away from all of this. I deleted all my social media apart from YouTube and Instagram. I'm still gonna post on these two apps, and I sometimes do watch Instagram still, but I'll try to minimize it. But I just truly want to get away from all of this society pressure. Like you can find so many contradicting answers to one problem on social media. It's so confusing, bro. It's very, very confusing. You know, I didn't know what a man is supposed to be like. And there's so many answers on social media. You cannot fulfill all of them. So the best thing you can do is sometimes just to delete the social media and just have alone time with your own mind, with journaling, fiction books, just something. Just get away from all of that, you know, and figure your own answers out, because nobody's the same. Different personalities need different things, and that is just normal. Don't try to fit yourself into some kind of box. You know, you're not gonna be perfect. You're gonna have weaknesses, you're gonna have strengths, and you gotta figure out who you are as a person. Because I can say I'm a very deep thinker, and it has its pros and cons, because sometimes I may overthink and put myself into overwhelming positions where it could have been way easier. But at the same time, it's a very good thing, because I think of stuff, I think of ideas, I want to do stuff. You know what I mean. There's pros and cons. The same way for the people that don't think enough, there's pros and cons. Let's say they may not think themselves into problems, because honestly, the people sometimes who don't think a lot, they seem like kind of peaceful, even though they may be living that kind of degenerate lifestyle, if that's what you want to call it. Or yeah, but they still, like, they seem chill, they seem happy, and maybe that is because they don't think enough. But accept who you are. It's not something you can really change. I mean, I tried to think less and to kind of minimize my curiosity and my want for knowledge. I try to really, like, suppress that thing, but I just can't. Like, I'm a guy, a man who just wants to be knowledgeable, and I just accept it, you know? Yeah, there's actually a lot of things that I try to push onto myself that just weren't part of me. For example, I really like the slow lifestyle, you know? I like to have a chill time, just to sit here with my book, with my journal, when a lot of people around me just want to do this, do that, you know, just like, let's go drink this, let's go pa, you know? I'm just chill. That's also one part that I try to neglect about myself. Like, I'm a chill guy, you feel me? I don't want to be out here just wilding and stuff. Sure, I'm not saying it's bad. I kind of like talking to these people because they have so many experiences and stuff. Like, they be doing the dumbest shit possible. But it's just not me. I'm just chilling for real, you know? And I think, like, where this problem really started was last summer. So last year, a year ago, I picked up this book, Becoming Supernatural, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And also Psycho-Cybernetics. And Psycho-Cybernetics is actually, like, a good book if you know how to use it in the right way. But the way that I did it was basically to create this mask of performance, you know? So I used to think that you can change your whole personality. I don't know what I wanted to do that, but I just wanted to construct my perfect self, even though that is not possible, bro. You gotta accept the fact that you're not gonna be perfect. I think you should strive to be your best version, but you're always gonna have some kind of weakness. You're not gonna be elite in all areas. But I started, like, doing visualizations. I did so much work just to change myself. It's crazy, man, just to fit in. I don't know how the fuck I did it, man, now that I'm thinking back. I mean, after that season, it was kind of very hard to get back with myself, you know, because I neglected so many parts. And I used to think I was being productive. I'm like, yo, I found a cheat code to life. No, he didn't, buddy. But it's okay. We live and we learn. Now I got a lesson from that, you know? So we cool. All right, let me finish yapping. I'm gonna finish up my food, finish my coffee. I will read some of this book, Lonesome Dove, and we're gonna go hit shoulders and arms. I see you, my boy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tired. I haven't slept well today. I have a driving lesson, so I had to wake up very early. And one thing that I didn't film is this morning I woke up at like 6:30 because I had a driving lesson at 8. I woke up, I instantly went for a run. You know, just like a chill run, 2 kilometers. After that, I had a cold shower, meditated, went to the lesson. And I actually just recently came back. Not like recently, but like 3 hours ago, you know? So I ate, I chilled, I filmed a video, read a book. Yeah, now we're gonna do shoulders and arms, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, if you haven't watched my last video, I said like this summer is gonna be personal, bro. You know, and of course I don't wanna like tell you what you should do in life, but lock in. Lock in, you know? But yeah, I'm tired, but nobody cares. Let's get to work. This is how I look. No pump, no nothing. Relaxed. Average lighting, actually a good lighting, I'd say. Let's get to work. Hey, that's why you gotta put the work in. Trust me. I was a skinny kid. I was a skinny kid just like you are. Maybe you are fat, I don't know. Or maybe you are fit, but whoever is listening, I was a skinny kid. If you're just gonna put a work in, you may not have like the exact genetics I have, and I don't have the best genetics. Maybe even got better genetics, who knows? But I'm telling you, if you put the work in, you're gonna get some kind of results. Alright, so this is the workout. I'm still gonna do some forearm rolling, like this stuff, you know, for my forearms, but I'm not gonna film that part. I'll just do post-workout posing, and yeah, maybe I will see you again. Maybe I'll have a little pep talk, but little posing, come on. All right, see ya, boys.